But today we're going to visit St Govan's Chapel, which originates in the 6th century. We've got to climb down a whole load of steps and it's built into the cliff. So let's go and have a look. So here's the steps down to the chapel. There's a lovely stack of rock. The sun's quite bright. So St Govan arrived here in the 6th century, and apparently he used to live in a cave here, and there were a couple of springs where he got his water, and he used to ring his bell to warn locals of approaching pirates. And one day, I've got to be careful here, one day the pirates were about to catch up with him, and he prayed to God, and the cliff opened up and made kind of a niche, and he was able to get inside and hide until the pirates had gone. And in gratitude he built his chapel here and stayed here. There's the roof of the chapel. I've got some more information which I shall find for you in a minute. The majority of the chapel was built later, and the slate roof has been replaced more recently, but nobody seems to know when. We'll see inside there are 2 chambers and an altar. Have a bit more of a look when we get down here. There should be some nice photos from the other side. There already seem to be quite a few people in the car park, even though the time of year is normally quite quiet. And I should have brought a torch. So here we are, straight into the chapel. There's the altar, there's nothing on it, I wish I'd bought something. And you can see it's almost built into the rock. You can hear the sea. It's absolutely dazzling. There's some people down there, we will walk down later. Colin holds the camera for a minute, I'll see if I can find some more information. There's a niche, and supposedly there was another well in here, a spring where he got his water from, which may be that. So most of what you see here today is 13th century. We're now going to venture up into the other chamber. There's some wax there, somebody's had candles on the altar. It's a bit wet in here. It's actually open to the elements, which is kind of weird. So I think this is supposedly where the cliff opened up and St Govan hid from the evil pirates. Another story said that the pirates stole his bell, and he was so upset, he prayed, and angels brought the bell back to him and encased it in a rock called the Bell Rock. And then he hit the rock and it would make a really, really super loud sound, so he could still warn everybody. I'm not sure where the Bell Rock is, but we'll see if we can find it. I'm just going to take some pictures. I also found some information online that links St Govan with Sir Gawain. of the King Arthur legend, one of the knights of the Round Table. But I'm not quite sure how true that was. We're now going to exit the chapel and go down to the Holy Well. Sadly, the Holy Well is now dry, something to do with the way the land has moved. They say if you count the steps, the number of steps on the way down is not the same as the number on the way up. But I stupidly was so interested in filming that I forgot to count. It's very peaceful. And this exact spot where we are was used quite recently by the BBC as a location in their series for his Dark Materials by Philip Pullman, if you've read the books. And this is where Mrs. Coulter kept Lyra captive, which is quite different to the books, because in the books I believe it was a cave. But it actually kind of spoiled it a bit, because it's hard to believe that it's in another reality when you actually know where the location is. It kind of detracts a bit. Right, we're going to head to the Holy Well. The Holy Well. It's now just a little bit muddy. You can see people have left offerings of flowers in there at one time. So that's where St Govan would have got his water from. It's a beautiful, peaceful spot. Look at the arch. There's amazing cliffs and stacked rocks in the arch. I wonder which is the Bell Rock. It's hard to believe this is actually in the middle of an MOD firing range. And it's only open at certain times, usually on a Sunday. You can see some of the buildings up on the cliff in the distance to do with the MOD, but now it's lovely and peaceful. Yeah, they are choughs. The birds that look a bit like crows that are flying over are actually choughs, and they only live in certain areas. They're distinguishable because they've got more long curved red beaks, and they make a chough kind of sound as they're flying over, which is what you can hear. right, I think look, it comes shooting up this way. Side of the pool. That came up there pretty quick then. I thought I was going to get a drenching. You can see all the spray. So that was St Govan's Chapel. It's quite a fascinating place, and the sea was really rough today, which made it really nice. So thank you for watching. Bye.